Hello and welcome to another daily market update by Market Intel. My name is Ben and today we want to take a look at the Take2 chart. I think a lot of people might be interested in this one, especially anybody who loves to play the video games from this developer. So it's going to be interesting. Let's go. Okay, we are on the daily Market Intel website, dailymarketupdate.com, and well, I mentioned last week, we're now covering tech stocks as well. So I chose another stock from the tech stock package for us today to take a look at this one. We want to take a look at Take2, video game development studio. I think a lot of people will be interested in this one. It has been requested by a few of you as well. So let's take a look at this one, and we start with the 1 month chart. I do sometimes remind you that you can let me know in the comments about any stocks or cryptocurrencies that you want me to cover, and we can see if we can build it in. So let me know in the comments. Especially interesting with the Tech 33 package now that we offer. So let's take a look here at the 1 month chart. So on this 1 month chart, we can see really the long-term perspective of this stock, that we have the long-term outlook. And well, it is long-term a bullish Elliott-Wave pattern. We can see that the market developed a 5-wave move up into the 2020, 2021 highs, highlighted here in blue wave 1. And then we've seen a pullback, which in the alternative perspective is already all of wave 2. So if you remember what I said in previous videos, the third wave is typically the most aggressive, the strongest wave. And of course, I mean, we don't know if the wave 2 is already in or not. We can only go by the highest probability path, really. And I can show you a reasonable alternative scenario with probabilities. So if we take a look at the chart, we can see that the alternative scenario only has been assigned a 30% probability, which means that the alternative scenario is that the wave 2 has already bottomed, but that's only the alternative. And 30%, I mean, it's not zero, but it's also not the highest probability, right? So the main scenario, the primary scenario, is the larger ABC structure here on the chart. But if in the alternative scenario, the wave 2 already bottomed, if we then see a break above $257.90, then it will indicate the third wave to the upside is unfolding. Why specifically that level? Well, if you take a look at this resistance area that we have here for this high B wave, it's defined between $241.59 and $257.87. The idea is that a B wave could get into this region. It looks as if the A wave is a 3-wave move, which again keeps the door open for higher. But if it's just the A wave, then it is likely, or at least it is something we have to consider, that the B wave overshoots. And B waves like to do that, and they shouldn't, however, break and sustain above the 138% extension of the initial A wave to the downside. So this is typically a key resistance level. Don't think the B wave has to get there. No, it doesn't have to get there, but if we get rejected somewhere along the way and we see the first 5-wave move down, then it could be the indication that the C wave down has started. And this is again the primary scenario, that we are already in the larger, or that we're still in the larger wave 2, and that we're now working on a B wave to the upside, which could go a little, get a little higher. We're going to take a look at the 4-hour chart in a minute, but then essentially a C wave should send the price down into the region between $46 and $107, which could be a really interesting long-term entry point. Now let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. By the way, I think I forgot to remind you that you can register on our website. Feel free to do that, and you can get access to all of these updates for free, especially I think interesting because of the tech stocks we're now covering. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame here. Looking at the 4-hour, we can see that the B wave rally is likely still unfolding. Just this time frame, if we just really consider this time frame, then you can see that the B wave rally is most likely still unfolding. But also on this time frame, we have specific probabilities. So we have a preferred scenario on this chart as well, which indicates that the B wave should go a little bit higher. So that has been assigned a 67% probability. However, in an alternative perspective on this scenario as well, and again, that's all part of the main idea that a wave 2 is still unfolding. Either the B wave goes a bit higher and then we form a much larger wave 2, or we are already a little bit further advanced in this wave 2. And if you look at the chart, you see here an alternative perspective. It's the WXY structure. Now, if it's a WXY pattern, then the X wave could easily have topped. I mean, X waves in this context, I don't want to go too much into detail here, but the X wave in this context doesn't need to go as high as the B wave. So it could top at any point. The thing is, it's only the alternative scenario because a WXY structure is normally less common than an ABC structure. So that's why this is only the alternative, that we're already coming down basically here in wave Y of 2. And then we would rather sooner than later complete this wave 2. Now, if you ask me personally, I would much rather prefer that we get this wave 2 done a little bit sooner. That would sooner than later provide a good entry point here in this support region highlighted in blue. So how do we know that this Y wave to the downside has unfolding? How do we know that this alternative scenario is playing out? Well, it would be a break below $130.34, which would certainly make this, well, there are no certainties in these markets, but it would certainly increase the probabilities for the direct pathway to the downside. And again, none of that is bearish, but yeah, I mean, the price is now at $152. So the support region is between 107 and 46. So yeah, it could be quite a substantial decline, which could take 1 or 2 years, maybe, roughly, maybe even a bit longer. But it is, you know, at least we would then get a little bit sooner to that entry point for possible long positions, because long term, this chart is quite interesting. I hope that helps. Hope you liked the update about Take2. If you did, yeah, please leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment here on the channel. Don't forget to activate the notification bell, and let me know if you enjoy the tech stocks. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.